Tired of paying a lot for DLC just to unlock characters? Well, enough of that. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is showing how it's done. Here, forget the credit card. All locked characters can be unlocked for free, just by playing and having fun. It's a fair, straightforward system that truly values those who like to dive into the game. However, the game hides ways to acquire these characters. Few people talk about it, but don't worry, stick with me, because I'm going to show you step by step how to unlock each of these heroes. I'm Matthew, and the video is about to start. To unlock Venom, you need to complete the mission Flying Menagerie or Destro World, depending on the translation. Usually between missions 8 and 9 of the campaign. He appears as the stage boss, confronting you in several phases within the same mission. After defeating him and finishing the level, Venom will be added to your roster as a playable character, and will also be available in arcade mode. With this, Venom becomes a mandatory character for any fan of anti-heroes or an aggressive combat style, providing great moments in co-op and impactful solo plays. Venom is one of the most anticipated unlockable characters in Marvel Cosmic Invasion, released after advancing through important moments in the game's main campaign. His presence is significant not only for his charisma, but for the brutal and menacing way Venom approaches the gameplay, setting aside any doubt about who rules the screen when the symbiote appears. Venom is an aggressive tank with fast and extremely heavy attacks that compensate for his lower speed. He can swing through the scenario similarly to Spider-Man, but with more strength and less flexibility, using his web as an extension of combos and pulling groups of enemies close, where he can inflict massive area damage. The differential lies in his parry ability, which is more effective than the conventional dodge, allowing for devastating counterattacks against bosses or groups. His special attack allows for a charged claw attack, launching long tentacles in a frontal area capable of hitting multiple opponents, perfect for clearing waves of enemies. The assisted strike brings the unique passive Lethal Protector, which slows down hit adversaries, facilitating control of the battlefield and opening space for collaborative combos in co-op. Venom also features costume variations, ranging from the classic black to skins inspired by Anti-Venom and Carnage. In practice, Venom is an excellent character for those who like to play on the front line, intercepting and punishing attacks from powerful enemies. It is recommended to invest in upgrades that increase his mobility or reduce the parry cooldown, as his weak point is slow displacement. Despite this, with every basic attack dealing more damage and an incredibly strong dash, Venom easily stands out as the game's primary web slinger for those who prioritize brute impact over Spider-Man's agility. Unlock Phoenix by completing the mission Blue Area of the Moon, Mission 6, where she appears as the Dark Phoenix boss in 2 phases. Phase 1, with sprints and projectiles, use Wolverine's Feral Grab for cheese, and Phase 2, with spirit waves and ads. Stay on the edges and focus with Nova. Defeat her with a finishing blow from Wolverine for the challenge, earning the Dark Phoenix No More trophy and adding Jean to the roster for campaign and arcade. Phoenix elevates the game to another level, especially for fans of mental powers and aerial plays that change the rhythm of fights forever. She dominates the field with devastating telekinesis and aerial mobility, turning any fight into a spectacle of cosmic power that makes you feel invincible against hordes of enemies. Phoenix shines as a ranged powerhouse, with basic telekinetic attacks that create chargeable psychic blasts, hitting surrounding enemies and building focus quickly. Her ability to fly allows for total air control, with aerial leaps that combine attacks to clear entire groups, while the telekinetic grab, Y button, throws or continuously slams opponents, perfect for bosses or elites. She compensates for low ground speed with insane range, making her ideal for co-op support or solo carries in crowded stages. The main special invokes the Phoenix Force at maximum focus, unleashing an explosion that destroys bosses and crowds with massive damage, requiring precise timing to maximize the impact. Passives include focus and HP upgrades that make her even more lethal at high levels, with skins varying from classic Jean Grey to flaming Dark Phoenix forms. Her voice and lines add immersion, with personality-filled phrases that echo during epic combos. Play Phoenix on the front for explosive damage builds, prioritizing focus and aerial mobility upgrades to cover close-range weaknesses. She synergizes brutally with tanks like Wolverine or She-Hulk, using grabs to set up other specials, and is top tier against swarms in Asgard or alien moons. The only hitch is managing cooldowns in long phases, but with practice, she becomes the MVP of any run.
I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses.
Silver Surfer is the last locked character in the game, and, not surprisingly, one of the strongest and most complete in the game. One of those you unlock and immediately feel like you've gained a turbo mode for the rest of the levels. To unlock the character, you need to advance almost to the end of the campaign and complete the mission linked to Galactus. In some guides, it appears as Fort Galactus, and in others as the Free the Eater of Worlds mission, but the logic is the same. It's the final stage where the Surfer appears multiple times, controlled by Galactus. In this phase, he enters as a mini-boss in intermediate encounters and then as the main boss, while Galactus attacks from the background, sucking up parts of the scenario and throwing debris, making it a longer and more chaotic mission. When you defeat the Silver Surfer in this final confrontation and complete the mission, he breaks free from Galactus' control and permanently joins your roster as the final unlockable character, available in campaign, arcade, and phase replays. In gameplay, the Silver Surfer is an extremely mobile zoner and, at the same time, one of the best characters for clearing the screen and dealing with bosses at a distance. He moves on his board at high speed and attacks while displacing, firing cosmic energy blasts in a straight line or in a fan shape, which keeps enemies constantly under pressure without you needing to expose yourself much in melee combat. Since he spends much of his time floating, he ignores several ground threats and can reposition easily, which makes projectile-heavy phases much more manageable. He is a character that pairs very well with the hit-and-run style. You enter, spit cosmic damage, dash through the group with the board, and appear on the other side ready to repeat the process. His moveset revolves around strikes with the board and the cosmic power, charged attacks that sweep enemies in a frontal arc, dives from top to bottom that knock down entire groups, and shots that pierce multiple targets, melting rows of enemies in corridors or narrow platforms. The Special/Ultimate is a large-scale cosmic energy beam, visually similar to Nova Super, but with the Surfer's more clean and sharp style, perfect for wiping out hordes or taking a good chunk of boss health at critical moments. In reviews and tier lists, he appears as one of the strongest and most well-rounded heroes in the game, precisely because he combines high damage, range, mobility, and safety in a mix that few characters can match. The in-game details reinforce this end-of-campaign reward feeling. The Silver Surfer's passive allows parries to apply extra cosmic damage, transforming defense into an opportunity to punish enemies even harder, which stands out significantly on higher difficulties. He doesn't have entirely new skins, but the game allows you to change the metallic tone of his body, ranging from pure silver to bluish, golden, greenish, reddish, and even a darker onyx-like tone, which allows for stylish combinations with other cosmic heroes on the team. In terms of power fantasy, he is that character who makes every move look bigger than the screen, with a glowing energy trail behind the board and smooth animations that give a constant feeling of fluidity. In practice, Silver Surfer works best when you take on the role of total screen control, while your partner holds the front. He pairs very well with tanks like Beta Ray Bill or She-Hulk, who keep the front line locked down, while you stack damage from afar and use the board's mobility to quickly respond to any threat that escapes control. It's worth focusing on projectile damage, focus, and cooldown reduction upgrades, as his kit scales very well with frequent specials and intelligent use of parries that turn into free cosmic damage. Since he is the last to be unlocked, he usually enters the team a few levels behind the rest, so it pays off to return to previous phases to level up a bit and get him to the point where he truly shines, dominating the entire map practically by himself.
A warrior needs sustenance.
I shall end this in the name of my master.
I'm getting tired of this. You're gonna have a dent in your chrome rad. We'll free you, one way or another, Surfer.
Phyla-Vell is one of the coolest locked characters in Marvel Cosmic Invasion because the game makes you miss her even before truly unlocking her. She appears playable in the prologue and then disappears, only returning later as an unlockable. To unlock Phyla-Vell as a playable character, you need to advance in the campaign until the Hala mission, Mission 10 in some guides, appearing as the boss at the end of the stage, where you face a mentally controlled version of her with a purple and green suit. After defeating her and completing the mission, she regains consciousness and definitively joins your roster, also becoming available for arcade and phase replays. In gameplay, Phyla-Vell is a hybrid fighter who skillfully mixes melee damage with range and mobility, occupying a space between a brawler and an agile cosmic character. She can fly/glide, which helps both in repositioning and maintaining aerial pressure, and her attacks have excellent range thanks to her energy sword and sweeping cuts, allowing her to hit multiple enemies at once without having to plunge into the middle of the chaos like Wolverine, for example. Basic strikes flow well into combos, and the game clearly pushes you to always stay on the offensive with her, taking advantage of the mix of speed and consistent damage. Phyla-Vell's moveset revolves around energized sword cuts and cosmic arc attacks, in addition to quick dashes that cover a good distance in a straight line. Some guides highlight that many of her attacks leave a trail of continuous damage, causing persistent damage to enemies who pass through the area, which greatly helps with crowd control. Her special unleashes a large cosmic energy/sword attack that covers a considerable area and is excellent for clearing hordes or creating space when you are surrounded, while her aerial mobility allows her to escape danger right afterward. Ultimately, she stands out as one of the best offensive options for dealing with both mobs and bosses, especially in the late game. In the details, Phyla-Vell is presented as a cosmic hero very faithful to the comic book character, physically strong, with energy channeled into her sword, flying, and firing strikes that seem to mix quantum power with beat-em-up brutality. Within the game, she is described in guides as ideal as a secondary character, alongside Wolverine, Captain America, or She-Hulk, precisely because she fits well behind a tank or alongside a simpler fighter, bringing high damage and range to complement. Visually, her default suit is quite striking, with strong colors and energy effects in her attacks, and some alternative palettes change nuances of the uniform, maintaining the same silhouette but allowing for matching with the rest of the team. In practice, Phyla-Vell is perfect for those who like aggression with a minimum of safety. You stay close enough to hit hard, but with mobility, range, and residual damage that prevent enemies from easily touching you. The best way to take advantage of her kit is to focus on melee damage and focus upgrades to increase the potential of her specials and keep the flow of attacks always high. In more difficult stages, many players recommend using her alongside Nova or another range damage character, letting her do the dirty work on the boss or the most dangerous mobs while the partner clears the rest. It's no coincidence that guides for fighting Annihilus cite Phyla-Vell as one of the best choices for the final confrontation, thanks to her lethal combos and the unique properties of her cosmic strikes.
Battle ready! That's enough!